Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. The Dallas Mavericks acquired Kyrie Irving near the trade deadline to create a new duo in Dallas between Luka and Kyrie. They have a partnership that is going to be one of the more creative and exciting things to watch before the playoffs. Two of the highest usage guys that are great in the pick and roll and great in ISO situations, so it's going to be fun to see how they play together. But here are Kyrie's stats so far this season. 27 game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 50 from the field, nearly 40 from 3, true shooting at 68, and a steal a game. Just a really good year for him, even though there was drama and somewhat animosity against him early. And then Luka's been phenomenal. 33 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 50 from the field, 35 from 3, 61 true shooting, and a steal and a half per game. So the question is how is Luka and Kyrie going to work together? So let's look at the film and see what they can do to allow this partnership to work well in Dallas. Not to start things off on a bad note, but their last game together against Minnesota ended with this possession. They were down 3, needed a bucket to at least cut it to 1 or tie the game, and it just ended up a mess. These two guys ended up on top of each other. Neither of them were aggressive enough. The spacing was off. They just are going to need time to figure things out, work together. The staff had the all-star break to figure things out a little bit and how they want to utilize these guys in different spots. So now, after that possession, I think a lot of things could be learned. But let's start with the spacing that they've been utilizing throughout their 2 games together and how it can work in the long haul. Putting them next to each other is huge. You're putting a lot of pressure on a gap defender and the individual defender. You're not going to be willing and able to help off of Kyrie or Luka consistently, and just by doing that, it allows their isolation ability to just amplify. Both of these guys are guys that can go out and create shots for themselves at an incredibly high level, and this limits the amount of help at that first and second level. They're able to get to their spots, go either direction, and using that gap defender as kind of the manipulative spot is really smart in my opinion. Putting them next to each other in every action and having the ability to have the other guy behind every action is just really good, and it's a smart way to utilize them. I like just having them next to each other. They're both willing and capable passers, averaging 5 and 8 assists a game, so they're going to make the right play with the ball in their hands, but putting them next to each other just puts so much pressure on the defense, especially in that second side, in that third side, when the ball touches paint and it gets out. Just they're really smart basketball players, and the way that they've been utilizing them early next to each other has been great and put a ton of pressure both on the Sacramento Kings and the Minnesota Timberwolves, 2 top half of the league defenses so far this season. So it's worked so far, and I think it's something that we can look forward to continue to see. They're just really challenging to guard in these situations with them next to each other, just because they're both willing and able to put up 40 on you and also 15 assists. But now to pivot a little bit and look at the pick and roll, this clip here we'll see Luka lifts behind the side pick and roll, and that lift behind and having the other guy not in the action as that safety valve behind really puts the defense in a precarious spot. They have to figure out how they want to help, how they want to tag the roll, if they want to bump, and just having that option always behind you is a really good thing. And both of them with their great passing ability, if you do overhelp, you're going to give up open threes. So Dallas is literally putting you in a spot as a defense to be like, hey, we're going to trust our guys to make the right play, but it's going to be whatever you give us. Having 2 of the best on-ball creators in basketball and one of them always being a safety valve, regardless of the action, is definitely a good problem to have in Dallas. Another way that they utilize spacing to their advantage is putting the other guy in the weak side corner. This limits the low man at the rim and really puts the defense in a spot where it's hard to protect the paint, but then if you do help, it gives the other guy an opportunity to either swing or attack a closeout and just play off of that. Here against Minnesota, we're seeing that Kyrie was in the weak side corner. They swing it down to him, and because he's such an elite scorer, he's able to get that one-on-one bucket. But to continue on to that point, they have shown at times putting both Luka and Kyrie on the same side of the floor. Yes, it's that same gap defender situation that was brought up earlier in the video, but also it puts a lot of pressure on the help side. If Kyrie and Luka are playing on one side of the floor, if you overhelp, both of them are so elite at passing the ball, especially cross court. Luka's been great at the cross court passes since his rookie year, and Kyrie's just as good of a passer, but putting them on that same side really is a tough guard for the defense. But another way that Dallas has shown playing Luka and Kyrie together is posting Luka. Luka has made a point in these 2 games at attacking the paint and playing out of the post, and he is an elite post player. For numbers' sake, Luka in post-ups plus passes, his points per possession is 1.063 on a 46.5% field goal percentage in these situations. He could score the ball down there. He could also create for his teammates. And I think that the action and spacing off the ball, using Kyrie as that same one pass away type of guy, and also putting him in cuts and places where he can move, play off the big man, run off screens, force curls, things like that, I think could really be beneficial for Dallas's offense. Just manipulating the help side through Kyrie and also putting Kyrie in spots where he can get great opportunities off of the size and playmaking that Luka presents on a nightly basis. That clip there, Kyrie was the one pass out. He just swings it out to him and allows him to drive, play off the paint. And now against Minnesota in these clips, you can see Luka gets it and they're running action. This was their second game together, and you can see that they had more time to see what they wanted to do. And Coach Kidd did a great job at just putting Luka in spots with the right spacing, with the right movement to allow Kyrie and the team to get great opportunities down the floor. But Luka in post-up situations is already very good, and I think that Kyrie can amplify this ability and also could allow Kyrie to get really good looks off of these inverted offensive sets. And lastly, and probably most importantly, I want to see them in action together more. This clip here against Sacramento, we had them off the ball playing in a split force curl type thing off of Dwight Powell, and it produced a switch. Luka was able to get downhill, create, but I think that things like that could really force the right switches. And then this, we have Kyrie setting a step-up screen for Luka, getting the right switch, and allowing Luka to attack. I think that putting these 2 in actions, you're going to create mismatches. You're going to put the defense in bad spots, and I want to see more of it moving forward. So Luka and Kyrie are 2 great on-ball creators at high usage. I'm excited to see what Coach Kidd has cooked up after the All-Star break, and I think Dallas's offense is going to be one of the best in the league. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Dallas, their offense, and their new duo. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.